Welcome back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, and in this episode we are going to go to Leper's Smile, which is one of the larger and more complicated encounters in the game. Thankfully the game isn't that unforgiving in regards to the early game. Now I haven't really sold stuff, but I think we're good, so I just need to rest because constitution damage and crap like that.
Tell me, Regil, back when you were a regular soldier, did you get whipped a lot?
Just the right amount to make me a decent fighter.
Okay. We haven't leveled up. We are going to level up after Leper's Smile, it seems. We are going to use this party. I don't see any need of bringing these guys along. Okay. Now what? There's definitely demons.
I know the way.
I can't remember this encounter.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
Yeah, whatever.
Out of my sight! Cover me, all right?
Protective slime. That
You
sounds
crossed the wrong mongrel.
mildly disgusting.
Let's try this way.
Probably put Caladon back on his bow for now.
Into the fray!
Attack!
I will see to your demise.
Or maybe not.
Stab you or zap you. Why not both?
What the heck was this encounter about? I really can't remember that. Can't remember this. Oh, right. Come to my camp if you want to talk. I have much to share with you, friend. Okay, now I remember what it is.
Follow my lead.
There's a skeleton over there. That might... Yeah, there's some loot there. Pancreas bracelet. It could have been better. Okay, off we go. Danger and distress rest heavy upon the scales, their measure soaring on the perilous march to Dresden. The army moves steadily along the bank of the West Sellen, scarred with canyons and ravines. Suddenly, a group of scouts returns. Anivia, the leader of the group, makes two urgent signs to the soldiers: wait and quiet. She dashes through the ranks to the commander who awaits her report. "We're in trouble," she whispers. "Road ahead is split by a canyon. To get to Dresden, we'll have to go down and then up the other side. But the canyon is swarming with foul creatures, escavors, a real pain in the neck. They won't shy away from our soldiers' weapons, and they've already managed to gobble up someone. Looked like a caravan of refugees from Canarbras that lost its way." No one has ever reported Vescavors so far from the center of the Worldwound. Where did they come from? Anivia bites her lip. They still haven't noticed us, but that won't hold true for long. Maybe if we retreat quietly. The commander makes a sign for her to stop. This doesn't make sense after that. Convene a council to determine a plan of action. The commander and his companions convene a field council. The army cannot march around the obstacle, for there is no other road. Retreat is far too risky. Should the swarm notice the army and catch it out in the open, no one would survive. None utters the word trap, but fear hangs in the air. A swarm of omnivorous beasts just happens to be in the army's path? Someone has arranged this for their own nefarious ends. Rustling, grating, squeaking, humming. Everyone hears the voice of the swarm, though the sky before the army remains clear. For now. How long until it is darkened by the flying spawn of the abyss? An idea, a decision, straight and sharp like a soldier's sword, appears in their minds. The Crusader Council grows grim. One unit must act as a live bait, lure the swarm out of the canyon and clear the path to the Vescavor Queen. The commander will rush the monster, killing her quickly before the swarm decimates the army. They will get but one chance. A dark question looms. Who will lead the fateful squad and be consumed as bait? In moments of extreme stress, one often says one thing while meaning quite another. These hidden words often reveal many a curious thing. And what do we see here? Irabeth nobly states, "I am an officer, best suited for the mission." But in truth she means, I cannot burden another with my responsibility. Caledorn sent me! Nura, the historian, emerges with an unexpected suggestion from behind the commander's back. This is just the sort of situation where ingenuity and knowledge of the enemy will be more useful than swords and armor. While she speaks, she thinks, I need to prove myself. The commander thinks that he should look into the faces of his companions. The Hell Knight Regil steps forward. My people will fight to the last, even as the swarm tears through our armor and strips the flesh from our bones. But his motives are plain. My superiority over the Crusaders will not permit me to cower behind them. I've eaten so many bugs in my life it's only fair to give them a chance at revenge. The mongrel Lan hides his fears in plain sight. I'm a dead man walking already. A life such as mine is worthless. And silently he begs for more. Sacrifice me, or give me a chance to prove myself. The ones who distract the swarm will need a healer. Sociel is the only one who speaks plainly. A healer might bring a few through the Vescavors alive. The rest of the council remains silent, and this silence is filled by a chorus of "There are others better suited," and "The commander needs me alive." Does the commander hear these unspoken words? What will they lead him to decide? The fateful troop will be led by, and we will be choosing Sociel. The commander and his party disappear among the rocks, preparing to slip down into the canyon while the swarm is distracted by their bait. A tight-lipped Anivia shows the way. Behind them, the final preparations are being made. Sociel's eyes grow cloudy for a moment. There are few creatures as abominable for a follower of Shellin as Vescavors, devourers of flesh and destroyers of matter. This trial will not be easy. The soldiers tread fearfully down the road toward the dark edge of the canyon ahead. The rift that yawns open before them whispers, rasps, and rattles in thousands upon thousands of voices. Vescavors gather below, but the sky is open above them, and the flying creatures might rise up and attack at any moment. The soldiers soon find the first body, the mangled corpse of a refugee from Kenabris. A few straggling Vescavors wriggle inside the dead man's gaping chest. Tiny larvae in greenish shells, all shuffling legs and hinging jaws. They don't seem menacing at all. But then the rasping noise stops for a moment, and a high vibrating note pierces the air with a new force. A blur of blackish green cloud rises above the canyon. The swarm has taken the bait. The time to act has come. The leader of this fateful squad shouts that they shall hold position and fight for the soldiers' lives. Standing in the middle of a formation of soldiers, Social utters a prayer to Shellin. From the outside, it would appear that the cloud of Vescavors will in a moment fall from above and destroy their forces utterly. Hundreds of spawn of the abyss gnaw on bodies and armor, destroying as they consume. But the cleric's power flows forth in waves, healing the wounds of his comrades. As if understanding who is to blame for the unexpected resistance, the spawn cover Social like a living carpet. The servant of Shellin trembles but does not move or halt his prayers. The soldiers look on with awe as though they are witnessing a holy miracle. Temporary success holds no true hope for the fateful troop. Their foe is no great beast, but 1,000,000 ravenous creatures bringing with them the eternal hunger of the abyss. To fight them was to cry upon the wind. Their only hope was to rely on their commander and hope that he was preparing to slay the Swarm Queen. What was happening down in the canyon at that very moment? For those of you who haven't played the game, be aware you can lose a companion in that specific choice. I believe Irabeth can die, I believe Regil can die, and the choices that I made were the two best choices you can make for this encounter to go as well as possible. Down in this region or area that we are now, there are 5 pieces of loot before you go to the Queen. I would highly encourage you to take a good look at the loot list, unless you want to play blindly, before making any decisions here. For every single of those 5 things you do, you will lose troops, you will lose morale, and you are at high risk of losing a companion. So the best course of action here is to go straight to the Queen. No sideways or something like that. There is, however, one of the 5 that we will be doing on this specific playthrough, I guess, which isn't so much about loot as it is about something else. Sorry about that, I just had to switch to my browser so I can see things. Spots of light and shadow dance along the walls of the canyon. High above your head, a swarm gathers, dark as a rain cloud. There are so many Vescavors that they block out the sun. Luckily, you have escaped the attention of the swarm, which is focused upon the troops you're using as bait. For now, at least. With a tired gesture, Anivia wipes the sweat and dust from her forehead. There is anxiety in her eyes. Commander, the beast we have come for is on the other end of the main corridor. There is a lot of burrows and plenty of beasts in them, but you'd better not delve too deep. Our people won't hold out long enough for us to clear the whole area. On the other hand, I saw the bodies of some poor caravaneers down one of the side holes. They have some valuable stuff on them, and the bugs will eat anything we don't grab. They can't tell the difference between flesh and steel. Wait, so they're eating all the treasure while we're standing around talking? What are we waiting for? Come on, there's no time to lose. Can you tell me anything useful about the monster? I've never fought these before, so I don't know much. She's a nasty beast. She spits acid and summons her spawn from all around the area. One more thing, when I tried to get closer, I started feeling sick as a dog. I guess like a lot of demons, she knows how to get inside your head. Well, great. Huge, hungry, head-spinning, acid-spitting bugs. And I thought the crusades were all about the pretty armor and the tasty rations, and sometimes saving beautiful maidens in white dresses from dumb demons. Did you manage to find out where these beasts came from? I'm not sure, but there are clear signs of a ritual closer to the Queen Bug's lair. And they're fresh. Maybe somebody summoned the scum especially for us. The demon filth figured out that we are never going to let Kinarbus go. Too bad we don't have a magic specialist who could figure out what those runes mean. Yeah, I probably should have taken Nenio here, actually. Anyways, let's go. Good luck. I'm right behind you, covering your back. I'll catch up when it's time to deal with the queen. Okay, let me just see the map, because I know exactly where we are going to go.
As it should be. Focus on the goal.
Be careful, everyone.
You won't survive me. Precision and grace.
Aim carefully.
These swarms aren't really that difficult. Here, for instance, is where you can go in, and I'm not going to touch it. Wait, this is one of the ways you can go in. Need to see the map. Yeah, we're going up here. Okay, let's touch it and collect it.
I'll make short work of this.
Ow.
Endure this.
Switch back to your melee weapons. You could be so kind as to do that. Thank you.
The light, take you!
Out of my sight. Make every strike count.
Let's do that.
Time to share your treasures.
Thanks, Lamb. You're so awesome, Lamb.
Demonic bug slime, poisonous not only to everything alive, but also to the land itself. Tasty. The bottom of the canyon is split by a narrow crevice, about one stride across at its widest. It's easy enough to jump over, or in places even step across. The obstacle doesn't seem a problem, or even particularly notable, but as you draw closer you hear a terrible droning sound coming from the crevice. It seems to be howling, as if it is alive. Look into the crevice. You stare into the darkness of the void, trying to make out where the strange sound is coming from. Not all at once, but your eyes pick out the contours of a body in the darkness. Someone small, perhaps a gnome or a halfling or a child, rolled up in a ball at the bottom of the chasm, under a stone ledge. He's crouched down, his head to his knees, and is hugging his legs tightly. It appears to be one of the caravaneers caught by the swarm. He is crying aloud, one continuous tone, and it strengthens as it echoes through the crevice, building into something truly haunting. You should have enough athletics for this, thankfully. Not without effort, you manage to clamber down to the bottom of the crevice, tie the halfling with a rope, and pull him up. He doesn't resist, but he's little help either, dangling helplessly like a puppet. The Vescavors inhabiting his eye sockets seem to have eaten their fill, and you easily pull them out and crush them. Their victim sits on the ground and continues to cry, and the sound begins attracting unwanted attention. You hear the humming of disturbed Vescavors above. A mass of them separates from the main swarm and flies toward you.
Can we retreat already?
I will see to your demise. You've crossed the wrong
Should
mongrel.
be simple enough. The question is, are we allowed to heal him? Yes, we are. The halfling you pulled from the crevice didn't move at all as you fought the onslaught of Vescavors. He's still lying on the floor crying. Let's do the good one, heal him. because we'll get something for that much later in the game. I will heal you and come back for you later. Magic can heal the Carabineer's wounds, but not his mind. For now, there's nothing more you can do for him. He seems scarcely aware of your help, and his crying and shrieking continues. A moment later, you can hear another scream from overhead. Leaning precariously over the edge of the crevice above, one of your men falls to the bottom and dies upon the rocks. The other soldiers, now serving as bait, are up there, desperately fighting for their lives and yours. This is one of the 5 interactions you can have in here, where you will lose some troops and potentially some morale. If I went and picked up all of the 5, we would have a serious problem. Okay, so this is where the Vescovar Queen is. So, we shall do a couple of things. We should do that.
Miss
Then
me already.
we shall do that. We'll do that.
No reason to pause.
That.
I shall not fail.
We shall do this.
I welcome your company.
And we shall do this. And there she is.
Together we stand.
Charge. If there's anything specific we can do, other than what we've already done. What's that on there? Of course we can't overcome the spell resistance.
You won't survive me.
She shouldn't be too hard.
Forwards!
But she can pack a punch. As you can see, she actually hits Sela, and Sela has pretty high armor.
Precision and grace.
This will hurt.
Endure this!
The Inheritor, guide my blade.
Solid flag.
Stab you or zap you? Why not both?
There we go. Unleashing her last shriek, the Swarm Queen slumps to the ground. Immediately, as if by magic, the distant sounds of battle begin to subside. Several small beasts sit on their mother's body, sinking their mandibles into it. The canyon drowns in the waves of scent, a sweet soporific with a hint of bite, like the crackle in the air before a storm. Ugh, I can't breathe. I need some fresh air. Get me out of this disgusting hole. Agreed. Mind you, I've had cause to see holes a good deal more disgusting than this in my time. Darren laughs suggestively. But they were few and far between. Oh gods. Sela looks at Darren in confusion, and a second later bursts into giggles. Have the fumes gone to your head, Count? Look at you, cracking jokes like the worst kind of bored. Lan looks askance at the Queen's carcass. The mongrels in the caves under Canabras could eat that, I guess. Anivia approaches the Queen's body and grins. That's it, you filth. No more flying. It's good we got rid of her without suffering more losses. Just a little longer and we'd have been forced to bury lots of our fighters in this cursed land. Suddenly, Anivia stops. Her nostrils flare, and her eyes scan the floor and the walls of the canyon. She squats, pokes at some lumps of slimy substance, lifts some up to look more closely, smells them, and cringes. You smell it too, right? A suspiciously familiar stink. Aha. Anivia rubs a ball of greenish slime in her hand. I'd bet my life that your gear had this nasty stench when we were entering the canyon. I saw the queen bug spraying it around to summon a spawn to her. Let's see if we can find the source of that smell among my equipment. You and Anivia search through your things and quickly find the source of the smell. A small handkerchief. Looks like it's been soaked in something like the Swarm Queen's slime. I'll be damned. If the Queen was spraying this sweet-smelling goop around, the swarm flew to it like flies to jam. The chewed-up bodies of the Caravanneers smelled like this too. I checked, Commander. I think some rat planted that handkerchief on you to ensure that the Vescovors would find you. Caledon's been tagged for assassination already. Our commander's all grown up. Despite his airy tone, Darren looks discomfited. I thought this crusade couldn't get any worse, but now we have a mysterious traitor who is trying to feed us to a swarm of repulsive insects. And there I was thinking you'd be first in line to feed me to some repulsive bugs. No, my dear Caledon, I have standards. What's more, my feelings toward you may be quite tumultuous, but not altogether negative. So if I were to feed you to some insects, I guarantee that they would be the most sublimely creatures you'd ever seen. Well, in that case, the least I could do in return is ensure that the swamp I drown you in meets your exacting aesthetic standards. There may even be flowers. Darren laughs. We understand one another surprisingly well, don't we? Touché. Looks like I have enemies in Mendev, and someone has decided to get rid of me. True, nobody likes upstarts. If you knew what Irabeth's allies hissed behind her back when she was appointed head of the Eagle Watch. Menevia spits. Anyway, we need to keep our eyes open. That handkerchief could have been planted here by magic, but take it from a professional paranoiac. I think we've got a rat in our camp. In Canarbras, we squashed the cultists from time and time again, but they were like maggots in a dead hog. Some could have infiltrated our forces too. We have to keep our eyes open and our guard up. It's time we got back to our people. I say we destroy the Queen's body. I've heard the little bugs who eat the flesh of their mother can be reborn as swarm queens themselves. That's kind of the last thing we need, right? If you want to open the Swarm That Walks path, the Mythic path, you have to pick this one. But I will not pick that one because this is not just evil, this is pure chaotic, unbridled chaotic evil. So it doesn't even make sense for someone who wants to become a lich to want to do that one. So fine, Anivia, get rid of the beast's body. Great. Cleaning up after a fight is just what I like. We'll start here and little by little we'll clean up the entire Worldwound. The game script was a little off there. Corpse probably should have been over there and not there. Anivia, Commander, what a relief. You're alive. I saw the swarm begin to thin and ran to you immediately. She pauses to catch her breath. Sociel wipes the sweat from his brow. My squad handled the assignment. I healed everyone I could, but my warriors have had quite a fright. It is not very pleasant to be eaten alive, then healed, then eaten, and healed again. I knew I could rely on you. What happened up there can't be described in words, but you were the one who carried the day, Caledon. Luckily, our losses are not as great as we feared. Not many are even wounded. But if you'd been a moment later, I'm afraid to imagine what might have happened to us. Unfortunately, the insect's acid ruined what was left of the caravan. Of course, I sympathize with those who perished, but we could have used their gear. Yeah, what a waste. Could really do with some supplies. Only they'd died on the road somewhere, of thirst, or after eating some wild animals, we'd be sitting pretty right now. That doesn't even make sense. My duty is to lead my people to victory. I would not abandon my duty for the treasures of dead Caravanneers. What matters is that everything's over and we won. What are we going to do now? Since you're here, please take a look around. I found some painted runes and the traces of something that seemed like a ritual. We need to figure out what this is. Ha! Easily done. Nura leans over the magic symbols painted on the stone. I'm no mage, unfortunately, but I'm in the habit of thoroughly documenting all descriptions of rituals and symbols from magic books, especially demonic ones. Someone very recently opened a portal to the abyss here and summoned someone. It's not too difficult to figure out who they summoned. She's lying dead right there. I can guess who carried out the ritual. Handwriting is unique, even when it comes to runes. I examined the Grey Garrison after your success, documenting everything I found for Queen Galfrey, and I'm sure that the hand that drew the rune circles was the same in both instances. It is the work of the same spellcaster. Looks like this spellcaster's afraid of us and dares not fight us openly. Of course he's afraid. Nothing he can set on us will ever be scarier than the swarm. He's just played his last hand and lost. Well, since we've finished off the swarm and we know someone is giving us trouble, I suggest we get out of here. I am done with bugs. We will keep this party, I think. A huge runic circle has been drawn on the rock, probably with blood. The Hunter's Assurance composite shot. 11,000, well done. It's a good bow though. Let's go through the canyon.
That is not far.
There are spots of blood where you left the wounded halfling, but there is no trace of him or his footprints. It's like he just vanished. Go through the canyon into these various areas. Acid has ruined the caravanier's gear, but that doesn't mean we can't get a little bit of it. We don't get the magic items that would otherwise be here if we had gone here before. But the cost of that would have been a lot of morale and a lot of our army.
No glory without
Make
risk.
every strike count.
I'll make short work of this.
You can switch back to your bow, please.
Calculated risk.
So I think it would be a good idea to heal Siva.
Just yet.
Likewise for Friedrich. Not going to level up just yet.
Let's have some fun.
Fun, he says. Does that work? No idea. Didn't seem to do much.
Out of my sight.
Distract them from me.
You crossed the wrong mongrel.
Attack!
Into the fray.
The swarm doesn't bother me much.
I know the way.
We see the acid has ruined again. The slime on the wall of the canyon emits a sweet smell, a sharp hint of freshness, like the air before a storm. The insects are swarming over part of the wall. Well, they're not really, but they would have been if we went here earlier. Judging by the marks that his nails left in the soft sandstone, this man was still alive when the swarm began to eat him. Now there's one more.
Might
I
be
will
tragic.
see to your
Might be tragic.
demise.
The inheritor.
You
Guide
won't
my
survive
blade.
me.
That is also something. When you have a large person on them, they get reach. So, as you saw, she attacked from behind Caledon. It's very nice. Commander, we're holding on for now. You're alive? The remains of the caravan camp. The Vescavors have chewed up not only the bodies, but also the tents and the bundles of goods. I think that's about it. I don't think... No, that is about it. So we need to go back here, because there's a cave here, which is of imperative importance that we go down. However, what we will do first and foremost is level up our party, and when we've done that, we will wrap up this episode. But first of all, Caledon, we will just continue, of course, on the Sylvan Sorcerer with the same skills as we've taken so far. Sorry that I don't have these as a class skill, because it would be nice to have some athletics. That's fine. As for our level 7 feat, it is time for Caledon to take... Seize the moment. And the bloodline feat will be... Improved initiative. Level 1 spells? Yeah, that's because of the ring. And that spell is freaking dangerously... I'll go with enlarged person because it is very useful. Level 2 spell. Probably is better to get from Dunfix, but Sense Vitals. I think we'll take Sense Vitals because the See Invisibility, well, it would be nice to have this on some character. At least until we get True Seeing. I will go with Sense Vitals, it is just too good of a spell. As for our level 3 spell, Displacement is good, the Greater Magic weapon is excellent. See Invisibility Communal is of course much better than the regular See Invisibility. Yep, we'll go with the communal version of See Invisibility, although Resist Energy is also tempting. Oh, this one. Alright, let us have a look at the rest of the party. We have Sila. There, one there. Level 7, we want to take Outflank. Outflank. This is one other of these excellent teamwork feats. As you can see, you get flanking bonus +4 as long as you're together with someone who has the same feat, which all of our melee people will have. And in addition, you also provokes attacks of opportunities, which we have the Seize the Moment. So you're probably going to see kind of the synergy that I'm aiming for here now. Okay, Lan is up next. He will of course take 1 level of Divine Hound. It takes raw nature, perception, and mobility. As for his feat, even though he is regularly... Well, wait, he's not going to take a teamwork feat. He's going to take weapon focus, longbow. I usually don't bother with the weapon skills. And the teamwork feat will be outflank, and keep in mind that as a Divine Hound, this also applies to the dog. So this is basically giving this feat to 2 different. As for his spell, he is ranged. That is not bad on... There's not really... I think we'll take Chameleon Stride to make him a little bit more defensible. Woljith is up next. Take the Dissectionist, level 7. These skills are obligatory. Surprise, surprise, I'm going to take Outflank. As for his bomb, it doesn't really matter which one I take, so I'll just take that. Sure. Bit weird. Based on what I have here, I should have had some different choices here. I might get them on the next level though. Hopefully they haven't patched the game. That this has ruined my builds. Brown for Transmuter Thunfix, level 7. We are going to keep on with these skills. Beat on level 7 is Improved Initiative. Is exceptionally important for Thunfix. We want him to have as high initiative as possible. His Arcanist exploit will be Wooden Flesh, which I apparently already have taken. I'm looking at the level. Arcane Barrier. You can expend 1 point to create a barrier of magic, which grants a number of temporary hit points equal to Arcanist level plus Charisma modifier, and lasts for 1 minute per Arcanist level or until all temporary hit points has been lost. As for spells, we are on level 3. Taken Animal Aspect. Level 2 spell, very important for us to have. The other one. I mean, this guy can scribe scrolls into his spell book, so... I do have Heroism, which was one of the ones that I wanted to take, so I guess the other spell is... Resist Energy Communal. Finally, we have Darren. And we cannot level him up. Yeah, we can, because I have, yeah. It's vitally important with this build that he takes his first mythic level, because he needs to have access to the animal domain. Beat. We're going to take Heighten Spell. Revelation. This will probably come as a huge surprise to everyone. We're going to take an animal companion. A wolf. As for his spell, level 1 we have Magic Weapon. Level 2 we have 8. Level 3 we have Remove Curse, I think. And that will give us a new animal companion again. Of course means that level up here. Bully, Athletics and Perception, please. For the first feat, Here is Fall for free. Prerequisites. That is strange. Fully. I might have misclicked there. There we go. Here is Fall. As for name, what name are we going? Think Google. Is that correct? Google? Yes, it is. Darren. Make up some birth date, late in the month, late in the year. Continue to level him up. Next here is combat reflexes. 4, we need to take 1 stat of intelligence. 5. Shake it off. Level 6. And level 7. Level 7. Outflank. Now with the animal companions having access to outflank at this level, I'm pretty sure that the... Yep, outflank. I believe very much that that goes for all of the ones who got outflank, did you? Or did I forget to level up your intelligence? No, Lan is a divine hunter, never mind. Divine hound, I mean, so silly me. We're going to take light barding. This guy, however, Peps, will be taking outflank. Now note that all of our melee people have Shake It Off and Outflank. Peps doesn't have Shake It Off for some reason. No idea why. But this is like a very, very powerful synergy. So there is a good reason for why I've picked this, since the Shake It Off gives you... Wait, sorry, I'm missing it up. Or I'm mixing up 2 feats. The other feat is Seize the Moment, which gives us more... I don't know if anyone has that yet, but it gives us more attacks of opportunity. Shake It Off is, of course, for the saving throws, which are also very important. So, well, getting ahead of myself there, I guess. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed the episode. If you have any questions and or comments, then please do feel free to leave those in the comment section. And of course, if you're interested in the builds that I'm using for the party and the characters, I'm happy to share if you want those shared. But for now, hope to see you all in the next episode.